Hello again, everyone. Hello there. Nice to be with you again. We all know about, I think most of us know about Edward Wesson. I've known him for years, years ago when I used to get the art magazines and he was in Painters. I couldn't get my head around his paintings and I never could take to them. But I thought they're just not as easy as they look. They seem to be very easy to do, but they're not actually, no, they're not. So I'm going to try and do one now. It's something like what he would do with my thoughts. Now, I don't think he did much wet in wet, I'll be honest. Maybe some people say he did. I think he put most of his work right on. So I'll do the same. Now, you see how it's running there? Now, if you have a full brush and you're painting, you get these runs here. Now, he didn't seem to have those runs. If you look in all his paintings, he never had those runs. So, to me, he didn't use a dry brush, but he used a semi-dry brush. Now this is sounding silly, but what it is, it's a touch of paint. Say say like this. Now you see, there's no running in this. Can you see? I've not got any running, because I'm using it practically dry, but not dry. So let me just get a little bit of something to put under it, say the little bit of light red or something like that, which you would use, and just fill in light. But there again, you see, I'm using it too wet. Now watch, if I dry my brush out, I put the pretty dry, see, and I have it pretty dry. Can you see? There's no runnings in it or anything like that. It's not a dry brushwork, and yet it's not a wet brushwork. See? It's just barely wet, your brush, but not enough wet to let it run down like that. So we'll just do it like that. We'll not try and make anything special with the sky or anything. Now I'll just tip it in there and just do this. Tip, not a full flood, but do that. Okay. I don't know whether I should tell you this method, but we'll start. I'll put you a base in here, the foreground. Right, now I'm going to mix the foreground colour. That will be a raw sienna. And another bit of warm colour. Sometimes he has like a pinky kind of a colour. Now let me just take any. Now I'll just mix a bit more. Now I'm using a dry brush. Now let's just see what I can do. This is a dry brush on and left. On left. Now, here again, as it dries, you'll see, you wonder, how would it get different colours? Let me just, you see, I've used a semi-dry brush, and it gets like a more or less as though it's a printed colour. There's no straight stripe, it's all one. But in fact, perhaps you say you were using raw paint all the time, and you put a piece of your raw paint into your pan, and then you dipped it in your water like this, and you dried your brush out with the and just add the touch of water on the tip, and just go into that. Okay, now let's see. Just a minute. Let me get some blue. Now I'm going to put some blue on here, just to sake of putting it on. Now I've dried it off, a little touch, taking it off. It's not, if I went like that it would run down. Have you got that? Now let's see, watch. Now there's a lot of blue here. It's a dry. Like that. Now that blue was pretty strong. Now if you wanted, while it's still damp on your dry brush, take that light piece out with a dry brush. You see, I've not got all them lines there. Okay, I know it looks daft, it sounds daft. It might look daft, but let's see what happens as we go along. Now, not going to be frightened of using a good bit of stuff. I'm going to get some burnt umber, plenty burnt umber, can you see how strong I'm making it? Eh? Now what I'll put you some blue in it, look. Like that. And then more burnt umber. Now watch. First of all, I'll damp my brush off, and I'm using a dry brush, right? So what it's done, it's enabled me to show brushwork at the top by using this half and half method, and also at the same time I can bring another half and half dry, bringing it to here like that. See, now with that burnt umber straight out the pan. Now you see it's there. Now this, it's a dry. With I put dry on, it'll blend in, but it won't look as though brush marks. It's weird. Can you see? Are you getting what I'm at? This is something I've had to learn over the years. It's how much is on that brush, filling that brush up. Because what you're going to see is different colours in that brown there. You can even put a little bit of lemon in while you're at it. Dryish. Can you see? Dryish. Can you see what happens? If you don't have it dry, what you'll get is like it'll all run in together. Let's see what happens if I put a little touch of wet and a little touch of lemon. Now watch this. Now I'm going to get now some burnt umber, strong as I can get it. Right, now I'm going to get some blue, so strong that it'll turn it into a greeny colour, and then again, dry brushwork, dry. Have you ever seen some of Ted's where there's a piece coming out like that? Dry. Okay. Now then, this here now, I'm going to put some yellow on there with a little bit of cerulean into it, making it into a dirty greeny cast. Now let's get it made a brush dry by pulling it on the side of my palette that way. Now, let's see if we can put it on. Dry. Now then again, now some burnt, your dark green if you like there with some umber into it. And now again, don't have too much on your brush. Don't have it too wet, that'll run too much. I'm using a dry brush, but now, with it dry again and a bit more burnt umber, I can still put a little touches of a tree. there. Now and again, some nice dark now. Okay. Now that we put a bit of shadow, reflection. Okay. Now we've not got it. See, we've not got lines showing. If you have a Wesson book, look in it and look for lines in it. But you may see now this is more patchy. Can you see? I've not quite got it right, but it should have been more patchy. And perhaps a little bit of light green around the edges. But you see, I've not quite got it right because I'm trying to talk to you and I'm trying to think about the pressure I'm using for the brush and what colours I'm putting in the brush, because using it dry I can get a light green, which it often does, puts it in front. Now this is the reason it's put in front is because often it'll put another tree just in front there, coming in front of that one, like that. Now, dark is the main feature of some of his work, so we'll put some dark in. Now, just here, using a dry brush again. Let's get the brush pretty dry. What I usually do is pull it out on the side of this edge here, so that it's not flooding. If I have it flooding, it'll not blend in properly. Now let me just see if I can get it. Can you see what I mean? I know it's too much on. See that bit there can come off. But see, when you put too much on, you can't control it. Just have your dark on the tip. You can't make out sometimes exactly what's there. I'll just do. So you think, oh, it's dead easy doing it, but I suggest you have a try or look deeper into it. They say he would roll his brush in two colours. Notice when you look how much trees it tries pushing from a light tree just in front like that. the skill of Mr. Wesson to me was, like you say, must have learned it over years, you know. A technique. Now, another funny, like putting a background hill in there. Or, one easy thing is to just put a cabin there. A little cabin. Just peeping out from there, can you see just behind there? Another little thing would do. And another thing, yeah, you could put usually a purple hill at back, a bluish purple. I'm sure if this, I know I shouldn't do this, I don't want to spoil it, but like a distant hill there. Now, I know you won't understand this, and I really admire the chaps who do, like me, try and understand this sort of work and study it. But you won't understand it, I'm certain you won't. You won't get it. You'll dislike it. But there we are. Thanks for looking in, everyone. Hope you enjoy that. And you'll do a little bit of studying of Mr. Wesson. Now, I'm not a good painter of this sort of thing, and I can only recommend Steve Hall. If you want to get more into it, I recommend Steve Hall, because I'm 90 next time. I'm not going to be here much longer, let's face it. So just get into studying it a little, this Wesson work. And you may enjoy it, you may not. But it's something to strive for.